Yakuza 5, aka Like a Dragon 5, is the 5th main entry in the Yakuza series, and is technically the second to last entry to star Kiryu as a protagonist, as Yakuza 6 is slated to be the final entry to star Kiryu as the protagonist. 5 is developed to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the series, and with it, a new graphics engine, new minigames, and expanded story to include 5 separate cities, and the amount of playable characters increased to 5. With Kiryu, Saejima, and Akiyama returning from the previous entry, recurring character Haruka debuting as a playable character for the first time, along with a new character, Shinada Tatsuo. Taking place 2 years after 4, in order to keep the orphanage running while Haruka is pursuing her dream of becoming a pop idol, Kiryu moved out of Okinawa and started working as a cab driver in Nagasaki, only to be dragged into conspiracy when the Tojo clan attempted to form an alliance with other Yakuza families in case when the 7th chairman of the Omi Alliance dies from lung cancer, promising perhaps a wide-scale war between the crime families. At the same time, Saejima was completing a prison sentence in which only for it to be ruined when a New York inmate tried to extend his sentence. Luckily, the deputy warden caught onto the conspiracy in which someone got Saejima expelled from the Tojo clan just to keep him in prison, as he's one of the few people who can stop the Tojo Omi war from happening. So Saejima was more or less given an unofficial parole in order to stop the conspiracy and find the truth behind the events. Meanwhile, Akiyama is in Osaka on a business trip, and at the same time, Haruka is involved in an idol competition that happens to be in Osaka. However, since the Omi Alliance's base of operations happens to be in Osaka, her talent agency at Haruka's parlor is not at all as it seems. Then there's Shinada Tatsuo, a banned baseball player turned adult entertainment writer from Nagoya, who was approached by an unknown man who told him to investigate the real reason why he was banned from the sport. As Yakuza 5 is now taking place in 5 cities and there are now 5 playable characters, along with the fact that there are now traffic in a big amount of cities, it brought 4 new character challenges and new side stories for 4 characters, such as Kiryu can drive a taxi and participate in driving missions, along with the street racing missions against street racing gangs and other racers. Saejima can participate in hunting for food in the Towa village. Haruka can participate in live shows, interviews, game shows, and so on, while Shinada will face his past as a baseball player and regain swing experience. Sadly, Akiyama doesn't participate in anything, despite the fact that he's one of the popular characters aside from Kiryu, Haruka, and Machi, although he does participate in some funny situations as part of his sub-stories. The battle system is pretty much the same as in the previous entries. However, Haruka, unlike the other characters, doesn't participate in fisticuffs, but she can, however, join in dance battles, which are mini rhythm games in which you have to highlight a specific bar, earth the deep buttons, and push the correct buttons, which are shown on the screen, and idle battles, which are proper rhythm games in which you press correct buttons in the singing sections, and time your button presses in the dancing sections. But you can increase your score by using idle heat or heat action by using L1, or you could use the new heat climax gauge, which I'll explain later in this section. For the other characters, they have gained special moves specific to them. Kiryu, like usual, is an all-around fighter since he's in more games than the other guys, but his red heat is now replaced with Dragon Spirit, which is basically invincibility mode. Saejima is still the tough old-school Yakuza, but now had embraced modern technology, and his special move involves him throwing guys around by legs. Akiyama's special move is a launcher and aerial combo, or even called a launcher with some heat actions. While Shinada is more of a grapple weapons guy similar to Tachibana in the previous entry, as his special move is the My Tackle Meteor, which is a football style tackle which can be followed by a throw or heat action. However, he will refuse to use a bat as a weapon due to him being a proud baseball player. There's also an overhaul to the weapons system this time around, as there are now weapon levels which can make the weapons more durable and stronger than the last time you pick them up during a fight. New to the battle system is the heat climax gauge, which is like a super meter, as each character except Haruka has 3 heat climax moves, 2 of which can be earned from different masters throughout the game. Each heat climax can be used like you would with Kiryu's red heat actions in the previous games. However, in order to build the heat climax gauge, you have to use heat actions to do so. The leveling system is modified this time around, as you can set your soul points to one of the 4 choices instead of an entire list like in the previous game. Like usual, the level cap is 20, however it can be raised to 25 by participating in a breakthrough training session with a returning character, although it will take a while for you to reach that part of the game. Along with the modified leveling system, there's now a new way to increase your character's strength and health meter by eating food after meeting a certain Japanese celebrity chef and completing side quests involving him. Your characters can learn new moves and skills by meeting with different monsters in the various cities, as well as doing some side quests involving them. Yakuza 5 is an improvement over its predecessor, as it allows players to experience different genres while still incorporating elements from the Yakuza series, introducing new characters and telling an engaging story. It's fun racing around the highway, playing Virtua Fighter 2, fighting punks, and karaoke. Although some of the aspects of the game aren't actually my cup of tea, since not everyone is good at flirting unless they have the tendency to flirt without realizing nor getting prizes in a flumsh. Anyway, I recommend this game to Yakuza fans, beat-em-up fans, fine drama fans, and fans of Holocaust singing back when the series started having premiere adventures.